Hello, my name is Carlos Santos. I will be presenting my counterterrorism briefing. Today we'll be discussing domestic terrorism, international terrorism, North Korea and Iran, and the policy that I would uh I would apply. So here's an example of domestic terrorism. Timothy McVeigh, who was a domestic American terrorist who carried out the Oklahoma City bombing in April 19, 1995. He was motivated by far-right anti-government beliefs, which is shown right here, which involve nostalgic nationalism, reactionary xenophobia traits. Yes, his actions stem from law enforcement handling the 1992 Ruby Bridge standoff and the 1993 Waco siege, which he viewed was a government overreach and a violation of citizens' rights. Um, he did it by the use of a car bomb that he manufactured, taking the lives of 168 people, including 19 children. So I would like to talk a little bit about Cuba. In the past, Cuba has been known for human rights abuses, terrorism training, harboring terrorists. As a matter of fact, Joanne Chesmart, who was wanted for escaping on November 2nd, 1979, was serving a life sentence for killing a New Jersey state trooper, and she was granted asylum by the Cuban government, which I believe country shouldn't country shouldn't be allowed for when it comes to crimes, because they are harboring a fugitive and they are they're aiding they're aiding them to get away with their crimes. Here's Iran. Our great country, the United States, is known as Great Satan, and Israel known as Little Satan. Um, an important keynote about Iran is the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the nuclear agreement between Iran and the United States and several country powers. It restricted Iran with uh, with a minimal um, progression in their nuclear evolution. Yes, and Hezbollah is powerfully backed by Iran and several other groups that are currently in the Middle East. So I included the left and the right because I believe a person's political beliefs can sometimes will has a great influence on how they react to certain situations and their belief in life, how they go about their life. Such extremists, as stated before, they need that reason, that core belief that pushes them to act. It is not a crime to act. Uh, it's the law enforcement is tries to figure out like uh, like signs of a person being radicalized, but they can't really do anything about it until they actually physically take that initiative to cause a terrorist attack. And for my comprehensive policy, well, to combat such well, getting right back to the domestic terrorism, it is a home issue. The United States is a country with several rights and several opportunities to make something of yourself. And I believe a key reasoning as to why terrorists take these initiatives is they believe they want to lay out their beliefs without rational thinking. They believe they believe their back is against the wall. They believe they need to send a message to the government to show that they have a voice. And well, understanding the government, understanding individuals, like their reasonings is important because it paints the picture as to what led to those actions and the degree of those actions. Um, he was a U.S. Army veteran, so it was pretty well coordinated, and it was outside a government facility, which was to send a message to the government. And um, for Cuba, I would increase intelligence because Cuba has been known for deceiving inhumane treatment to its civilians, illicit activity that undermines world powers, and I also put here dismantling a communist country through the people who want change. Although I believe it's I believe the people of a country has the right to say what they should say, even if their country, such as Cuba, a communist country, would have them arrested or shut up or even worse, possibly killed just for speaking their mind. And I believe a community that unites is much stronger than whatever whatever rules a country that destroys, well, not destroy, but make a harder life, make a harder life than it should be. Oh, and also I also put down deter Iran state supported terrorism and proxy warfare. because I believe most of our Middle East issues stem from well, like a war zone. You gotta you gotta take it away. You gotta remove it. You can't you can't stabilize a country or see change if it's always chaos. And as long as it doesn't overstep their way of life, because I believe that's what happened when American troops uh, arrived after 9/11, and just the civilians seeing the tanks, the soldiers, the gear. That is really provoking. I mean, I would feel pretty intimidated if another country were to lay their military, their weapons, their armored transportation into well, if it were in my community, if I were to go to the store, or if I were to go to school, and you just see an armed soldier, well, you'd feel pretty intimidated. And also, another thing that I put here was providing support to countries that want change and not orbit around to provoke. And I say that saying, if they really want effort, if they really want change, then we should always be there to back them up, because we have a reputation of getting involved in issues that we shouldn't be. And I believe we could be an effective we could be a pretty effective country when other countries are seeking for it truthfully and are in critical need, because we are seen as the world power of the world. I still do believe that. And I believe unity is the key component, especially for lone wolves such as Timothy McVeigh, because his actions stem from law enforcement. He believes the government was overstepping. We gotta the government is for the people, and the people not for the people. The people don't work for the government. The government works for the people, and it must protect the rights of the people. I also put well, I believe mental health also does play an important factor in this. Simply because well, a person takes multiple steps when they become radicalized. They do thorough research, uh, things to improvise, and if their beliefs, if their ideology is as solid as they were following from the beginning, then that is the final trigger that causes them to act. And lone wolves, they deserve all the help um, they need. They act on their own. When it when compared to other well, lone wolves compared to a group, an organization, they have their own ideology, or their thought process that is similar in in similar ways in causing terror, having the same drastic effect, but with a different message or a higher purpose that is beyond them, or their purpose in life for them to cause these actions. Because the final step for a terrorist, it's basically saying that they're giving everything in their life for this action to go successful. So I believe change comes from within our community. We must be aware of our own, and and be assertive in helping those around us when they become influenced by terrorist organizations, or reach a path of no return that leads them to do actions that are fatal to society and community members who have nothing who who have nothing to do with their with their own with their own with their own course of action that will be that they want to be accepted as that they want to be accepted in society, or viewed. So yes, I believe terrorism could definitely be prevented when we take assertive measures. We take we take we make programs for the youth. That's when a person is most influenced, is in their youth. And the circumstances of life also play a factor in this, because our life in the States, is as teenagers, as kids, is so much different than individuals in the Middle East, all across the globe. We do not have the same resources. We do not. They do not have the same resources. They do not have the same freedoms we have. So we must work around it. We must take action in order to bring about change, and make sure they feel as it is their home, and that we aren't there to take their land, or govern them, when they should be governing themselves. And well, that is it. That is my counterterrorism briefing. I believe unity is essential for peace, because there will always be a conflict in the world, but I believe that could all be resolved when everyone supports each other, but everyone is always after their own interest.